And welcome back to the Kiosk Presents. I'm very excited to introduce our guest today, and he is Jack Nerad, Executive Editorial Director for KellyBlueBook.com, and he's coming to us live from the North American International Auto Show in Detroit. How are you, Jack? And thanks again for joining us.
I'm doing great, and as you can tell, a lot is going on here. There's a press conference going on off to my left, and it's just a lot of excitement here.
Oh, I can only imagine. You know, I'd love to actually get there and experience it firsthand myself. This year wasn't the year, but hopefully I can get to it next year.
I hope so.
Listen, so let me ask you, I know you're looking at lots and lots and lots of beautiful cars out there. So let me ask you this first. Which vehicle are you the most excited about?
I guess one of the ones I'm most excited about is the FT1 from Toyota, because there's a lot we know about it, and there's really a lot we don't know about it. What we do know is it's a precursor of something that Toyota has planned. It has started basically as a video game car, come to life as a show car, and as you can see, it's really cool. Has a lot of Formula One kind of styling Phillips to it, and it's going to change the way people think about Toyota. They're going to look at them for better styling and more exciting styling, I think.
Huh. Yeah, very interesting. Now, what do you find are like the biggest auto trends this year so far?
Well, one trend is luxury. A lot of people are going to luxury. A lot of people are more affluent. A lot of people feel a little better about spending their money these days than maybe they did 2 or 3 years ago.
Sure.
And Hyundai is there with the new Genesis. It's a new generation of their luxury car. It's basically their answer to the German luxury cars like the 5 Series BMW. It's a great looking vehicle, great styling exterior and interior, very well finished inside. And it has all the active and passive safety features you could want, great engines, and an 8-speed transmission. So it's kind of the whole package.
Wow. And it's actually pretty nicely priced, isn't it?
It is. Compared to the German competition, it's very nicely priced. I mean, you can look at that vehicle for much less. And talking about nicely priced, the Honda Fit is going to be all new for 2015. It is completely renewed. It's a totally new car. Looks better than ever before. Great interior room and very versatile inside. The seats fold and do a bunch of things that allow you to carry a bunch of stuff in it. Great fuel economy, and it's going to be built in a North American plant. So it's really going to, I think, take the market by storm when it comes to market in spring.
Huh. Now, do you find that more people are really expecting more out of their vehicles, regardless of what they are?
I think they are. They're keeping their vehicles longer. They're expecting them to last longer and be trouble-free for a lot longer. A lot of people don't even change oil anymore or pay attention to those kind of, fairly simple maintenance items. And at the same time, they rely on them for things like infotainment, getting connected and staying connected even while you're driving. That has its own pluses and minuses, of course, too.
Right. So what do you find is the most in-demand car for consumers in 2014?
Well, I mean, certainly one of the vehicles that was introduced here is the best-selling vehicle in North America, and that's the Ford F-150 full-size pickup truck. But I think the important thing about the market these days is there's a vehicle for everybody. And, you can personalize your vehicle. You can pick a vehicle that really serves your lifestyle and expresses your lifestyle, too. And that's why we have so many choices out there now.
And it seems like even on some of the more economical vehicles out there that they're really loading them up with a lot of features that not too many years ago you would have found only in higher priced vehicles. Don't you agree?
That's absolutely correct. Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to be a luxury car manufacturer these days because much lower price cars have all the stuff. That a luxury car had just a few short years ago. I mean, things like video screens and navigation and, connectivity and, active and passive safety features, they're all there in fairly inexpensive cars.
Right, and I think it's really exciting too, and it makes I think because of those facts, it's kind of keeping all the car manufacturers on their toes a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the car industry is so darn competitive. I mean, there are so many brands competing in the U.S. market, and there are only so many buyers. We're going to have a big year this year. We figure something like 16 million new vehicles will be sold in the United States for 2014. But still, with all the manufacturers competing for those dollars, the consumer is the big winner.
Now, let me ask you this. Don't you think that, years ago, back in the 50s and the 60s, it wasn't uncommon for the major car manufacturers to come out with new models virtually every year to keep people excited about the new cars coming out? And then for a while, they kind of got away from that. Are you seeing it more that they're kind of going back to that mindset where you got to keep introducing some new and exciting things to keep people excited about going out and buying a new car?
In a lot of ways. They don't do it the way they did in the 1960s. And in the 1960s, of course, they sold a lot more of, say, a full-size Chevrolet. I mean, they sold 1 million full-size Chevrolets in 1962. The highest volume vehicle now does roughly something like half of that in a year, and most vehicles are doing under 100,000 units. So the way manufacturers are changing and catering to the market is they're doing more models. They're not changing them as often, but there's more models that are directed at individuals.
I gotcha. And did you get a chance to look at the new Chevy Stingray?
Absolutely. I mean, super cool stuff. And the Z06, which was introduced here, is, just otherworldly in terms of its performance abilities. It's also pretty darn good looking too. Or certainly get you some attention. And that's one of the great values in terms of performance cars in the world.
Yeah, I read something where I guess the base price is around $52,000.
Yeah, it's just an amazing value in terms of what that thing will do. They've addressed virtually every issue that the previous Corvette had, and just made it a much better vehicle. And we like the other one, so this one is really good.
Right. And now, one more thing now. There seems to be quite a buzz about GM's new CEO, Mary Barra.
Right.
And did you get a chance to hear anything out there that maybe the folks at home haven't heard or don't know?
Well, her being a CEO of a major car company is an absolute breakthrough, and thus she's getting, a lot of attention. And there was a lot of attention here yesterday, including at a press conference where, it got to be a little controversial, how long she stayed for questions, what the press did, depending on which side of the aisle you sit. Again, a little bit of controversy surrounding that.
Right. Huh. Well, I guess time will answer the questions people are most asking.
Right. Well, the good news with her is she understands product very, very well, and this is a product industry.
Absolutely. So, Jack, listen, could you please tell the folks at home where they could go for some more info about the auto show and about KellyBlueBook.com?
Yeah, I'd love to have people come visit KBB.com, Kelly Blue Book's KBB.com. We have all the information you could possibly need to make a great car buying decision.
That's awesome. Well, Jack Nerad, thanks again so very much for joining us here on the Kiosk Presents, and he's the Executive Editorial Director for KellyBlueBook.com. Visit the website. You'll find loads of useful information, and happy car buying, and enjoy the rest of the show, Jack.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Great to talk to you again.